George Kambosos Jr. could be fighting Vasily Lomachenko next, not Devin Haney. This isn't a surprise to me. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. So we have some disturbing news, like always, in the sport of boxing. As now the new unified lightweight champion at 135, George Kambosos Jr. Him and his team, which his main promoter is Lou DiBella, says that they could be going after Vasily Lomachenko. And I'm going to break this down as simply as I possibly can. The reason why they're going after Vasily Lomachenko is because Lomachenko is a Lou DiBella fight. We've seen from recent reports that George Kambosos Jr., there was rumors that he was going to go after Gervonta Tank Davis. The WBA say that they was going to mandate to either fight Devin Haney or Gervonta Tank Davis. Well, he can't fight Gervonta Tank Davis because Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be out on the shelf for a couple months because due to the hand injury he suffered. And also, Gervonta Tank Davis says that he wasn't going to fight George Kambosos anyway because he doesn't care about the belt. He doesn't want to pay sanctioned by their fees. And either way it goes, Gervonta Tank Davis would have dropped one of the WBA belts because the WBA, they're on a hot streak of not making anything happen these days. But anyway, this is a surprise to me. We thought that George Kambosos Jr. was going to go after Devin Haney. He says he won the legacy. He says he wants undisputed. And you got the WBC around here calling George Kambosos undisputed already. And Mauricio Suleiman was interviewed by a reporter within Blue Blood Sports TV. He refused to answer the question. And Mauricio Suleiman is nothing but cap ass all the time. So I don't know why they're making this fight between Vasily Lomachenko and George Kambosos Jr. I don't see why that fight should come to fruition because Lomachenko lost to a journeyman. Well, I'm going to say this. George Kambosos Jr. says Lomachenko is taking the right route to get the fight with him. So let me ask you guys this. Lomachenko is going backwards, okay? He's beating opponents that Teofimo Lopez is beating. He fought Nakatani and beat him. Now he's going to fight Richard Comey and beat him. That's if Richard Comey doesn't upset him, and Richard Comey could land the George Kambosos Jr. fight if he's lucky to beat Lomachenko. But I highly doubt that's happening. And I think the fight's coming on this weekend, so I'm going to see what's going to happen. But anyway, Lomachenko has 2 losses, okay? Why would you want to fight a guy with 2 losses, is a star boxer, but he has nothing really to bring to the table? And also, the reason why this fight is coming to fruition, because legendary promoter Bob Arum says that they was promised by the WBO to get a shot at George Kambosos Jr. as the mandatory. Bob Arum pushed for the mandatory. So when you're pushing for something, you have a higher chance of getting the fight. So with that being said, they're basically, boxing is going backwards. They're going back into this loophole once again. And this is not a surprise to me. I'm so glad. If you guys missed the Devin Haney interview on BFTB Boxing, go check it out. Great interview by BFTB Boxing. Devin Haney already says that if these guys just don't want to fight, they continue to duck him, he's going to eventually move up to 140. He says he's still 23 years old. His body still got a lot growing left to do. And this is a shocker to me. Devin Haney said he's going to go all the way up to 154. That's a surprise. I think Devin Haney could go all the way up to 154 because of his frame. Even though he might have a size disadvantage in those 2 weight classes. Junior middleweight. But I think Devin Haney's, man, that dude's going to be a problem in those weight classes for a while. But Devin Haney, the main point Devin Haney said, guys, is that he's not going to play the Duck Goose game anymore with these guys. He's eventually going to go up to 140 and try to get undisputed somewhere else. I don't blame him. This is what's going to happen. Vasily Lomachenko gets his hands on those belts. They're going to find every excuse not to fight Devin Haney. Bob Arum, you're going to hear him say the same excuse with Devin Haney when Teofimo Lopez had the belts. Devin Haney signed with the wrong promoter. Well, last that I checked, Devin Haney is basically his own boss. He can fight anywhere he wants. He can fight by fight, not fight by fight basis. He can fight on any network he wants. Yes, he's had the co-promoter in Eddie Hearn, right? But that doesn't affect the fact that he can fight on your platform and there's no ducking game. And this is when the WBC franchise belt come into play. When Eddie Hearn was explaining it, that the belt it not allows you to fight the best of the best. That's just ridiculous. And what was going to happen is George Kambosos Jr. versus Devin Haney. The winner gets all the belts. One of those guys was going to dump the WBC belt in the trash can, which it was going to be Devin Haney. And by throwing that belt in the trash can, it might just motivate a few good fighters not to accept that belt because you've been playing Duck Goose game. So the point of the matter is, guys, they're basically going backwards in a circle again. You got Lomachenko fighting past opponents that Teofimo Lopez knocked out. And, George Kambosos Jr. says he wants Lomachenko. I can understand. Both guys is a Lou DiBella fighter. Lou DiBella wanted to go after Gervonta Tank Davis, but too bad because Gervonta Tank Davis is hurt. And now we can say the excuses. Now we can say the excuse for George Kambosos Jr. is that he's not going to fight Devin Haney. Amazing. Wow. I cannot believe it. This is ridiculous. Boxing is not back. Some people could say boxing is back. No, it's not. Boxing is not back because this man, I believe Devin Haney has been one of the most avoided fighters in boxing today. And everybody talks about his no power and stuff. Well, Devin Haney says, if I'm such an easy check, why you don't want to come fight me? Devin Haney's not an easy check. He's one of the highest paid lightweights. Lightweight is a glamour division, and we just might not get it. Now, some people would prefer Devin Haney just keep fighting at that division. But if Devin Haney just over time his body grows, he just can't acclimate the weight no more, he's going to have to move up to 140. I can understand that, but guys, be expecting we're not going to get the George Kambosos Jr. fight versus Devin Haney. I think George Kambosos Jr. is all cap. I think he just doesn't want to get embarrassed by Devin Haney. Even Devin Haney went in front of his face. It is what it is, guys. I don't know the whole scenario. What do you think about this? Do you think that George Kambosos Jr. is going to fight Devin Haney or not? Do you think he's going to fight Vasily Lomachenko next? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.